One or two of the English supporters are very quick to notice we've got a French referee tonight and remark on the fact that Leeds lost in the European Cup final last year to Bayern Munich when a French referee made one or two controversial decisions. Number 8, Harry Hahn, the Dutch sweeper in the World Cup, who played so well. And so Hahn sets the game alight for Anderlecht, the final of the 1976 European Cup Winners' Cup. Tonight's game will go to extra time in the event of a tie, and then will be decided on penalties if it's still a tie. But Lommer, only 20 years old, just established himself in the side. Broos, or rather Van Bint. Number 8, Hahn. Number 9, Ressel. Ressel again to Van Bint. Jennings was in quickly, but not quickly enough. Hahn. Wide for Rensenbrink. Ressel, who spends most of his time on this right flank, although he wears 9. Free kick. The offender, Robson. Ressel to take the kick. Bond. Lommer should be the goalkeeper. West Ham in a smart new strip tonight, a variation on their normal colour, strip, but with the same colours, claret and blue. Lampard, Jennings. Lampard. Ball won by Gross. Number 8, Hahn. Number 10, Brooking, didn't quite get it. It was Cook who got it away. And the whistle's gone for a foul by Brooking. The Belgian captain, Van Bint. He used to play up front, but he was brought back for the semi-final because of injuries to play as a back four-man, and he's been very effective, apparently. In the way there was Robson, and was fouled by Van der Elst. Brooking. Bonds through to number 9, Jennings. Ball hooked on by Holland for McDowell. West Ham throw. McDowell anxiously signalling. Was won by Van Bint. Brooking. Too many defenders, with 3 of them there to block that. Pardon. Ressel. Number 8, Hahn. Good ball. Cook. Taylor quickly to the rescue. The ball firm enough to the goalkeeper. McDowell. Fullback Keith Coleman outside on the touchline, but found Holland first. It was Hahn, a good ball, and blocked by Bond. Taylor. Bond's just checking on the forward players. They're all marked up. Good run by Patton, who got loose. Robson almost got a foot there, but it was the defender, Broos, who turned it back. Ressel. Hahn. Gave Ressel far too much to do. Lampard for West Ham. Bond. Brooking. Number 6, McDowell. Into trouble. McDowell. He's got the corner. First corner of the match for West Ham. Graham Patton to take it. Short to Brooking. Nobody found Brooking at all. And another corner. Again short. Reuter's first touch looked very confident. Rensenbrink. Foul by Coleman. Both these sides, by the way, playing in their second European finals. West Ham won this trophy back in '65. Anderlecht lost in the first cup final to Arsenal in 1970. Another free kick against West Ham. The veteran Docks passing the ball back. Thiessen. Aimed at Rensenbrink, right through. Bonds looking for number 11, Robson. That's Lampard. Billy Jennings. Robson to Jennings, well played. Robson, it's all getting a bit tight. Free kick. Referee very careful. Number 3, Frank Lampard. Robson. Flicked away by number 5, Thiessen. McDowell. Pat. Taylor. The offside late flag. The linesman thought about that and then raised the flag. Anderlecht very experienced in Europe. This is their 16th campaign in European competition. Ian Reuter, Dutch under-23 international, but now 29, still looking for his first senior cap. Tommy Taylor couldn't go in for that against Rensenbrink. Taylor, Rensenbrink, and cleared by Lampard, who got there quickly enough. That's Holland for West Ham. McDowell. Jennings. Bruce. Number 2, Keith Coleman. Taylor. Robson. Frank Lampard. The marking's very tight up front. Bonds to Holland. Rensenbrink, and Holland held him. Robbie Rensenbrink, leading scorer for Anderlecht this year with 22 league goals. And Pat Holland being spoken to by the referee. Three of the big centre-back, Bruce, for his fellow centre-back and captain Van Binst. It's McDowell. Holland. Number 3, Bruce. Docks clashing with McDowell. Docks. Hahn. Hahn's the man they seem to be finding all the time in the middle of the field. Now Cook. Thiessen. Cook obviously isn't happy, although that foot's heavily strapped. Hahn. And Binst to number 9, Ressel. Rensenbrink. Coleman. McDowell. Getting quick return, but he wasn't quite able to get through. Van Bint. Bruce. Number 10, Cook. Van Bint. Beaten by Lampard. Bond. Robson. Coleman. McDowell. Number 8, Patton. Robson. Bond. Lampard. Anderlecht with all their players between ball and goal. Jennings couldn't quite lay it off well enough. Lama so cool under pressure, only 20, and just to the side, and really has started like a veteran. Doc. Was really meant for Ressal on this side. "25 minutes gone in this European Cup Winners' Cup final. Anderlecht to Belgium 0, West Ham United 0. Coleman. McDowell, good ball. Jennings. Word from Dave Sexton. West Ham looking promising, David.
Yes, I think they're doing very well indeed. Anderlecht are just sort of counter-attacking and counter-punching, so they put the onus on West Ham to do the attacking. West Ham have got more men up, so it's a little bit harder for them to find space, but they're really working hard to find the space and doing it well. Little Billy Jennings is moving well, and it's looking very promising. I like the positive attitude.
Turned in by Rensenbrink, that's Docks. Cook. Number 8, Hahn. Van der Elst. Cook. Thiessen linking. Cook available. Cook is still in trouble on that leg. Bruce to Van Bint. Ressel to number 2, Lama. Hahn. Ressel putting up on a run, but the final ball not good enough. Apology from Harry Hahn. Frank Lampard asking for width. The player he was talking to was Robson. That's Robson. Patton. Robson. Patton. Bond. Brooking. Jennings. That was awkward, actually. A piece of very quick thinking by Jennings. He looked for the back header and got it. Hovered under the bar. Another corner to West Ham, their 4th. Play for Keith Coleman, who came up late. Haddon. Bonds. Yes, Holland, 1-0. Haddon crossed it. Bonds got the header, and Holland picked it up, and no one got near him. 1-0 after 28 minutes to West Ham. Haddon's favourite left foot cross. Bonds touched it then, was good enough in the air. Holland coming from nowhere at all. First to the ball. 1-0 after 28 minutes to West Ham United. What they've been threatening to do. And Holland, the scorer at number 7. Thiessen now for Anderlecht. With Docks to number 10, Cook. Thiessen. Cook. Number 3, Bruce. Cleared by Coleman. And Anderlecht have got a substitute warming up. Hans Kroon, their trainers, obviously decided that Cook can't stay out there, but it should be stressed if you've just come in. It was an injury inflicted by himself and a tackle with Brooking for which he was penalised. Taylor, where it started from so often already. Bond. Coleman. Found Brooking well. To Patton, number 8. Lampard. Van der Elf. Ressel. Rensenbrink. Ressel, good return ball. Taylor, Bonds and Day. Taylor to Bonds. Offside against Jennings. Bonds getting through a lot of running from defensive positions. The marking's tight up front, but Bonds is attacking the defence, trying to bring a player out to him. Hahn to Vakotro. Rensenbrink. Nice play by the Dutch international on his favourite left foot. Docks. Field for a penalty, not given. Referee just not interested. It was Holland. Foul. No, play waved on. Pat. McDowell. Number 11, Robson. McDowell. Bonds. Brooking. Van Vince. Harry Hahn got through an awful lot of work already, this Dutch international. A Patton. And Jennings just offside. 5 minutes to go to half-time. West Ham United lead Anderlecht by 1-0. Anderlecht supporters have been a little muted, beginning to come to life. Blommer. Hahn. Good run by Ressel. Important tackle for Bonds to make. Hahn again. Bonds again. Another corner to Anderlecht. They're pushing the big man from the back forward. Ressel. Hahn. Misunderstanding between the two of them. And a free kick to Anderlecht. West Ham now with all 11 players back in the penalty area, apart from the two who are just in front of the man taking the free kick, who's Ressel. Gross, the fullback, had come up, the centre-back rather, had come from a deep position. Obviously a planned move, the ball chipped to the posts, and Gross arrived very late on the scene. Docks. Vakotro. Bruce. Docks. That's Lampard. Oh dear, Ressel. Number 11, Rensenbrink. Bond's just got a touch, and it's 1-1. Frank Lampard walks away as Anderlecht celebrate a really gift goal. Lampard, well, he didn't hit him back properly at all. Ressel was there. Bond's just got a toe to put Rensenbrink off the first time, but the second time he made absolutely no mistake. 2 minutes from half-time, and it's 1 each. McDowell for West Ham. Bond. Holland. Poor Lampard walked away by himself then. He turned his back on the celebration, and he looked really the loneliest man on the ground. Not even one of the West Ham players spoke to him first, but I'm sure now the encouragement's going back and forth. Sad, sad moment. Mauve and White at Anderlecht comes out. Doc. Ressel, now Lampard. McDowell. Big by McCudden, now Hahn. Lampard again. Robson. Corner. Trevor Brooking. Anderlecht turn to pull players back. They've only left one outside the penalty area. Played to Lampard. To Brooking, who's yards offside. Bad time to concede a goal just before half-time. Anderlecht must have been feeling they've got problems with West Ham, who really done most of the attacking and had the chances. But now Anderlecht very much back in the game. Lampard. Coleman. Robson. McDowell. Gave Robson too much to do. Van der Elst only finds Bond. Lampard calling to Brooking. And Lampard's got a problem. Number 5, Taylor. Switch play well. Holland. McDowell. Brooking calling, number 10. Half-time and the sides go in level. Roars of applause around the ground, but especially from the Anderlecht end, just the encouragement they needed. So at half-time, the West Ham had led by 1-0 through Holland after 28 minutes. At half-time, Anderlecht go in level, with that goal scored after 43 minutes by Rensenbrink. Lampard limping, got a problem, but that presumably will be sorted out in the dressing room. So at half-time, West Ham 1, Anderlecht 1.
Catch Classic World Cup cricket.
That's beautifully hit.
This month on ESPN Classic.
Magnificent shot, right off the meat of the bat.
Watch the greatest ever names.
Yes! He's gone!
To play the one-day game.
Beautiful delivery, took the leg stump.
All of your cricket heroes.
What a delivery.
In one place.
It's a great shot. Tremendous clout by Richards.
Classic Cricket World Cup.
Bowled him.
Every night this week at 8 on ESPN Classic.
Successful companies are all about growth. As they grow, they add more employees and more floors, until before you know it, they've grown to fill a skyscraper. And let's face it, from up there, people look really small, and they can find it hard to make their voices heard. But at Santander, we've been growing for 150 years by adding branches to our network to bring us closer to our customers. Now our group has more branches than any other international bank. In 2004, Abbey became part of Santander, and together we share the same commitment to be close to our customers. Abbey, part of the Santander Group.
Hanging from a pine tree by my knees, sunshine through the shade. Nobody knows what it's all about. It's too much, man. Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out.
Brewed with citrus hops for an effortless taste. New Foster's Twist. Laid-back lager.
Adidas creates a new generation of deodorants. Action 3. Its active absorbent complex works like a sweatband to absorb perspiration. Action 3, the first absorbent antiperspirant deo spray with its unique technology. Action 3 helps you stay fresh and dry. Action 3, our most advanced sweat control ever from Adidas.
More is going the extra mile. More is a year's free breakdown cover for new car insurance customers. Call 0800 300 800 for a quote or visit us at morethan.com.
Tropicana Pure Premium only comes straight from the very best fruit, and our oranges are squeezed within 24 hours of picking. Tropicana Pure Premium, straight from the fruit.
Lawnmower, £49. Sunshade, £39. Barbecue, £79. Keeping the faith, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, accepted for homes and gardens.
McDowell now to Coleman. Jennings, Coleman. Number 12, Taylor. Holland. Bonds. Taylor, who was so disappointing when he was left out of the side. He's had a knee injury, but passed a fitness test on Monday. Taylor. Good dummy. And a good cross. Docks it away for a corner. Taylor's sheer speed caused problems then. Very confident boy. He's come straight into this match. Hadn't touched the ball at all, obviously, before. And straight away, he started as if he'd been on the pitch all the time. Padden's corner. Coleman's come up short and unnoticed. Actually, he confused Padden, I think. Long and deep to Bonds, who's above the rest. Free kick. Foul given. Taylor penalised. Docks, number 6, the veteran in the side. Defended against. Docks with the ball, is 34. Rensenbrink. And Coleman made contact. Verkouteren to Docks. Rensenbrink. Pat Holland in. Padden. Jennings. Brooking. Good ball. Van Dale's 1-0. 2-1 there. Van Dale's got it. Fine move between Rensenbrink and Van der Elst, and West Ham pulled apart. That was Rensenbrink's ball. Van der Elst had stolen up for the back, and when he got the shooting opportunity, he really put it away. Got the space, he turned Taylor, and Mervyn Day couldn't get there. So Anderlecht 2, West Ham United 1. Rensenbrink. A roar every time he touches the ball. Good play by Taylor. Number 9, Jennings. Taylor. 2 West Ham Taylors, a Tommy Taylor number 5, Alan Taylor number 12. That's Tommy Taylor, Alan in the background with the fair hair. Bonds for West Ham. Hoyt, Padden. Hahn. Van der Elst beat by Bonds. Padden. Good play to free himself and a good final ball. Brooking. Padden again. Bad tackle now, Van Bint. A wrestle to Docks. Van Bint. Switching play to Rensenbrink. What a difference there is now in the attitude of this Anderlecht side. Bonds. Hahn. Verkouteren. Thiessen. Hahn. Hahn is making himself available, finding space, often coming deep to do it. But he's been a major influence in the middle of the field. Verkouteren apologising. Pat Holland's throw. Jennings. Taylor to Brooking. Good tackle by Van Bint. Bonds to Padden. McDowell. Tommy Taylor, number 5. Holland. Bonds. Holland. Taylor breaking right, number 12. Ten minutes gone in the second half. West Ham United 1, Anderlecht 2. Holland to Taylor. Foul. Thiessen now booked for that foul on Taylor. Thiessen, the big number 5. Fascinating to know what the referee's saying. He's obviously deep in conversation with Trevor Brooking. That's Tommy Taylor, number 5. Good header. And Taylor poaching, as he does so often. Taylor so alert in the box. Graham Paddon's corner. Pumped along for Bonds, who's there. That was Van Bint. And finally, Taylor, what a save! Taylor thumps the ground in sheer frustration, and no wonder. Holland's patch was unnecessary. They all know how well he did. He really tanked that ball, and it was right up in the top corner too. So often you see those shots wasted from the edge of the box. They don't test the goalkeeper, but that brought out the very best in Reuter. Bonds won it in the air, knocked away by the captain, and fired back by Tommy Taylor, and he was right in the top corner too. The goalkeeper really plucked it out. And with the injured player being attended to, here once more, Dave Sexton of Queen's Park Rangers.
Well, that second goal was a real body blow for West Ham. But the nice thing is that the really aggressive substitution by John Lyle at half-time, bringing on Alan Taylor, now that they are behind, will stand them in good stead. They've got the shape to get back, and the way they're looking, a little bit of luck and they'll be level again.
Another corner then to West Ham. Bonds once more. McDowell beaten, there's problems here. Van der Elf, he's got a player on the other side he never saw. Rensenbrink. Going it alone, and robbed finally by Holland. And Ressel, the player who was loose on the other side, turns away in anger. Alan Taylor now for West Ham. And really a tremendous match developing. Robson, and cleared by Bruce. Free kick given. And we got Van Bint now, the captain, hobbling. That was a really vital save by Jan Reuter, this Dutch goalkeeper, one of 4 Dutch players in this Belgian side. Holland to Taylor. Bonds is square, but he's selected Paddon. Robson. Paddon. Brooking. Space for the shot. And Thiessen closed it. Lommer. Bonds again for West Ham. Paddon again. Robson, good ball to Brooking. Jennings couldn't get there. Thiessen did. Robson. McDowell. Brooking. And it's lanced in. It's there. Beautiful goal by Robson. Trevor Brooking put it to the near post, and Robson got to it. Halfway through the second half, and what a match this is developing into. Tremendous move by West Ham, so quickly executed. Brooking's ball there didn't seem to spell danger, but Robson was on his knees to head it in. And the glance was just enough to beat the loss and put West Ham back in this game. 2-2. About 23 minutes of this second half gone, so there's still a long way to go. And don't forget, if the score's level at full time, it goes to an extra half hour, and then the match could be decided on penalties. Tommy Taylor's crossfield ball. Real injection, that, for West Ham. McDowell. Rose settling on the goalkeeper. Coleman. Artesian. Taylor's speed on this right side could trouble this fullback, the big Thiessen. This is the man who's had an injection because of knee damage. Taylor. For Coteran. Number 11, Rensenbrink. Oh, brilliant piece of skill. Ressel. Goal kick, is it? No, the referee's seen the point, but he's let play go on. Squeeze the ball back too. Hahn. For Coteran, a tremendous shot with his better side, his left side, and well saved by Day. Well, this match may have had its quieter notes, especially in the early part of the first half, but Bond. Cut out by Coteran. Now Rensenbrink. Van der Elst again. Patton calming it down. Bond. Holland. McDowell. Bonds again. Docks and Bonds. Rob. Brooking. Cross too long. The atmosphere now really is electric. Bond. Coleman. Taylor. Van der Elst throw. Harry Hahn. Ressel. Oh, unlucky. Taylor slipped. And it's through the lot. He tried to make it better, and rightly so to Rensenbrink. And West Ham got away with that. Rensenbrink. Penalty is given. Harry Hahn in the foreground as Taylor and Day protest, but the decision given, and Holland was the offender. Well, there'll be a few arguments about that. West Ham seem to have got away from the problem. Rensenbrink turns back in there. And that's the offence, and here now the penalty. Rensenbrink, number 11. Dave Sexton sitting next to me. What about the penalty?
Well, technically speaking, it was a penalty. I think that Rensenbrink's legs were played instead of the ball, but it was rather harsh because there wasn't any intention of playing the man. I think the fullback was trying to get the ball.
Hahn. Vassell, Hahn again. Vassell. Hahn. Vassell. Hahn again. These two Dutchmen playing a game of their own. Bad ball finally, though. Ball out. And it's a West Ham throw. Referee indicating that time will be added for time wasting. Patton. McDowell. Brooking. Thiessen, Rensenbrink. Brood. Vassell. Van der Elst. Fine save by Day, who gave him very little to shoot at. He was on the edge of the 6-yard box, but what a shot by Van der Elst. Tremendous power and direction. Now Rensenbrink. Oh, that was a foul, but Turner survived. But Coatran was the offender, and the referee rightly playing the advantage. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes for West Ham to equalise and possibly take this game to extra time. 3-2 down against Anderlecht. Patton. Laid off by Robson. Brooking. Jennings. Jennings penalised. Holland. And already these Belgian supporters are celebrating. Less than 4 minutes to go. Rensenbrink. Pushing by Holland. Thiessen waiting to take the kick. Bonds. Brooking. Foul by Hahn, surely. Now Taylor. Coleman. West Ham really pushing players forward. It's all or nothing now. They've just got to gamble. 3 minutes. 3-2 down to Anderlecht. Coleman for West Ham. Brooking. Holland in. Alvan Bin. Rensenbrink. Offside not given. Van der Elst. 4-2. West Ham's all-out attempt to attack was caught then when the ball was played through by Rensenbrink with the defence caught pushing forward and square. McDowell almost got back, but look how well Van der Elst kept his head and even had the goalkeeper on the ground to leave himself with an empty net. 4-2, Van der Elst second, and the cup now must surely go to Anderlecht with less than 2 minutes to go. Bruce, Rensenbrink, Coleman, Holland. On, Rensenbrink. Purcell, where he's been all night out on the right touchline. Verkouteren. Day to Brooking. Almost time. Bond. Pat. Robson. Bond's up there driving still. What a captain he's been tonight. With the cause apparently lost, Bonds is still in there attacking. He's been a real tower in defence and been significant too when he's come forward. Check with the linesman. Another check on the watch. And it hasn't gone, no. They thought it had. One or two photographers were already on the pitch. Holland. That is the end of this European Cup Winners' Cup final, with Anderlecht taking the trophy by 4 goals to 2. Really fine second half display by this Belgian side. Gilbert van Vince, the captain. Jan Reuter, the goalkeeper, whose save from Tommy Taylor was really one of the vital points in this game. The cup passed along the team. Thiessen, the big left back. Harry Hahn, perhaps the player of the match. Rensenbrink. And the captain, Van Vince, goes along the line of officials. Reuter, the goalkeeper. Broos, the big centre-back. That's the manager just handed the trophy round. Hans Kroon, a Dutchman who retires at the end of the season. His place being taken over by the Belgian national team manager. And so sportingly now, Anderlecht stand back to applaud West Ham. And they're getting a good view of the trophy, the West Ham players, they go forward. But we may not be able to see them on this Eurovision transmission, which is now nearing its close. There they go through, receiving their losers' medals. And so with the news that Anderlecht of Belgium have beaten West Ham in the European Cup Winners' Cup final by 4 goals to 2, it's good night from Brussels.
The best Cricket World Cup matches every night this week at 8. Remember, if it's on, it's on. If there's something big on in the real world, then ESPN Classic will show you how it became big in the first place. You know it makes sense.
Here at the home of Ed Good Sport, we want you to fully appreciate why we do what we do. Every month, our seasoned master boffins carefully arrange the program lineup to fit perfectly around the live sport calendar. Throughout April, the Snooker World Championships are on in Sheffield. So, to give you that little extra, we've decided to showcase the legends of the sport. Weekdays at midnight. If it's on, it's on.
Tuesday to Thursday at midnight on ESPN Classic.
You just call out my name. I'll come running to see you again. It's a spring, summer, or fall. All you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend.
chocolate cake's nice. Our chocolate cake's very nice. When you finished it, it does feel really good until you realise it's going to be eaten, but you don't think about that bit.
With comprehensive cover from Norwich Union Direct, we'll replace your child's car seat after an accident, even if it doesn't look damaged. And we'll give you an extra discount if you and your partner insure with us. And if you buy online, you could save up to 10%. Call Norwich Union Direct on 0800 828 829.
Come on, homeowners. To save money on your home insurance, challenge Churchill.
Will you really guarantee to beat the renewal price on my home insurance?
Oh, yes.
Hang on, so if our house burned down,
Yes.
would you put me up somewhere till it was all sorted?
Oh, yes. Come on, homeowners. If you haven't claimed for 3 years, we really do guarantee to beat your renewal price. Oh, yes. Challenge Churchill at churchill.com.
My fingers jingle round and round. Forget that it may come to risk my days alone. Oh, I know.
The new Ford S-Max from 16,995.
Catch classic World Cup cricket.
That's beautifully hit.
This month on ESPN Classic.
Magnificent shot, right off the meat of the bat.
Watch the greatest ever names.
Yes! He's gone!
To play the one-day game.
Beautiful delivery, took the leg stump.
All of your cricket heroes.
What a delivery.
In one place.
It's a great shot. Tremendous clout by Richards.
Classic Cricket World Cup.
Bowled him.
Every night this week at 8 on ESPN Classic.
So the Masters is over for another year. Luckily, though, only in the real world. To save you going cold turkey and suffering all those unpleasant symptoms, we've got a week's worth of golfing methadone for you. Soothing imagery of magnolia trees and check trousers every night this week at 7 o'clock. Now, we're kicking off with the 2002 Masters. Tiger Woods, you might remember, went in as defending champion, and he was looking to join Jack Nicklaus and Nick Faldo. At that point in history, the only two men ever to have taken the green jacket 2 years running.
There is a line of succession at the Masters. Champion to champion. Tradition carried on. Eras overlapping as time circles back on itself. Stands still, then rushes forward. In the 66th Masters, we remembered one man. We said goodbye to another. And passed their torch to a third. The Augusta National Golf Club welcomes you to the story of the Masters.
I'm Hootie Johnson, chairman of Augusta National Golf Club, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2002 Masters.
Ceremonial beginnings, and change is in the air. Sam Snead stands alone this year on the first tee to begin the Masters while his former partner, Byron Nelson, hosted the Tuesday night Champions Dinner. The 50th anniversary of this tradition and the centennial celebration of Bob Jones' birth. The menu, and a good-looking one it is, selected by the current champion, Tiger Woods. Change is in the air. Jack Nicklaus will not play this year because of an ailing back, but joins 27 other champions on this night. Wednesday afternoon, strictly for fun. Sometimes that bag's too big. Connor Jansen caddying for Dad Lee. Sometimes it's a uniform and a verplank. Jerry Pay taking time off from his television duties to play the 7th hole. But no one has a bigger smile than Toshi Izawa, who made a hole-in-one at 5, and then another here at 6.
Much Western religious art is of course based on the human form, whether it's the image of Christ, of Mary, or of the saints. And that's exactly what you don't find in a mosque.
You could hardly find a bigger contrast with Santa Sofia. There isn't a single representation of the human form here. This building is a beautiful period piece. It reminds us of a time when the English were fascinated by the Eastern world, when William Morris was copying Arabic designs, when the Prince Regent decided to build the Brighton Pavilion in the style of a Mughal palace, and when no middle-class home was without its copy of the Arabian Nights. But, like chocolate-covered Turkish delight, this mosque is the East made slightly more palatable for the English. To see a more authentic version, I'm off to London's Regent's Park. With its magnificent gold dome, Regent's Park Mosque is the most distinctive building in the area. It's situated on a prized spot overlooking one of London's most elegant parks. The land was a gift to the Muslim community from the British government in 1940 as a tribute to the Indian Muslim soldiers killed in service of the British Empire. Unlike the Shah Jahan, the design is plainer, more authentic. It also has a minaret from which muezzin can call people to prayer at one of the 5 ritual prayer times. Like Woking, this mosque wasn't designed by a Muslim either, but by the British architect Sir Frederick Gibberd, who also designed Liverpool's space-age Catholic cathedral. Here we see a British influence of another kind, for Gibberd was a leading modernist architect. Unlike the Victorians, the modernists of course shunned decoration in favour of simple, clean designs. So, in a sense, this modern building is more in tune with traditional mosque design.
The first thing that strikes you about a mosque is what a plain space it is. Very big windows, a big dome, a huge expanse of floor. And the whole building is essentially given over to prayer. There's no art, certainly no sculptures or images. Those are completely forbidden under Islam in religious contexts. But there's a lot of writing, beautiful writing calligraphy, expressing the word of God, the Quran, which of course helps to focus and direct prayer.
Copies of the Quran are everywhere, lining the walls and dotted around the floor. The idea of the word plays an important part in all 3 monotheistic religions, but for the Jews, the Muslims and the Protestant Christians, the emphasis on the word had big artistic implications. For Muslims, like Jews, it literally meant decorating their temples with words instead of pictures, as we see if we look to the glorious dome which sits over the mosque. The dome is usually the most decorated part of a mosque, and Frederick Gibberd's is a very fine one indeed.
From the outside, the dome is a very conspicuous part of the mosque, but within, it's even more important. It floats beautifully over the central space of the building, a deep blue colour. It's very serene and very calming. It's like an eye onto heaven.
The enormous size of the dome makes this mosque feel very spacious, very modern. What happens here is also so different from Santa Sofia. This is a place for social interaction, rather like a Quaker meeting house in that respect. And though prayer is very much a part of Islamic worship, the rituals are a lot less elaborate than the ceremony we saw at Santa Sofia. In its art, in its architecture, and its forms of worship, Islam is a very different religion. The Muslim God is a god of words and shapes and patterns. He can't be seen, he mustn't be represented. He is, in artistic terms at least, more distant and abstract than the Christian God. The great monotheistic religions do share much in common, but as we see if we compare Santa Sofia and the Regent's Park Mosque, the differences can be even more intriguing. The very fact that we have developed such a rich and diverse tradition of religious art testifies to Britain's former prowess as the world's leading trading and industrial nation. Our economic success attracted many visitors from abroad, and thanks to the religious tolerance they found here, they settled and flourished. Mosques like this were once mysterious and foreign. Now they're a welcome addition to the story of religious art and architecture in Britain.
As a journalist, he's known for his views on politics, and Ian Hislop looks at how politics become an important part of Hogarth's work next. He's doing that with Tim Marlowe in a few minutes, here on 5.
What would you like to see? Vision Express, sponsors of 5 Arts.
You're rude, and you're a bully, but you are bitter, and you're lonely. So you treat everyone around like they're idiots, and you get away with it. Because you're keen.